here and let me drive for a second. So basically, when you use our software to run any kind of sale, whether it's live, online, or simulcast, and I get the feeling that you're mostly selling to live audiences,
Yes.
you get a listing on our site. So, and you can put as many pictures as you want, and you'll have, you can add the description about your sale and so on and so forth. But that is a free perk that's included with using our back end software. Okay, so but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that right now. I want to dive right into the functionality of our system. So once you are in, and I am going to log in as you here in just a second. Here, let me get myself in as you. Okay, so once you log in, you'll be given this little button that says Auctioneer Dashboard. And I have to go over here to May. I'm going to first verify your account for you. Let's see. Too many screens. All right. And then I'm going to log in as you. All right. Now, when you hit the Auctioneer Dashboard button and you come to here, there's the goal for our system was to be as simple for people to use as possible. It's very, very powerful. There's a lot of tools that you can use, but the core system is very simple. You're only going to use 4 or 5 of these tabs over here on the left. And so let's start with the top one there. The dashboard. That's where you first come here. It's kind of like QuickBooks. As you have sales, it'll give you a little graph of how your sales are doing. Anybody who owes you from any prior sale is going to show up here under unsettled invoices. Basically, if they owe you money, they're going to be here. And if someone gives you a review on the front of our site, it'll show up here for you to see. It's only for you to see, so it's direct feedback to you. It doesn't show up on the front of our site. It's just for you. But that's basically what you're going to get on the front dashboard. Now, auctions. Auctions tab is simply a way for us to organize all of your future sales and all of your past sales in one place so that you can find them quickly. When you come on board with us, and now that you have an account, you will never lose access to that account. We do not charge a monthly fee. I'll go over the fees here in a little bit, but we do not charge a monthly fee. So if you go several months without an auction, you don't have to pay those months you don't have anything. We charge per event. All right. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to create you an auction that shows up here. But just give me a second. Now, customers is the third tab down. Currently, you are the only person in your customer list, but to us, a bidder and a consigner is a customer. So anyone you add on either side of the table is going to be brought here to your master list. If you have another Excel spreadsheet with all of your customer information, we can do a massive upload to that and make bringing people over to us very simple. Staff. After you get to know the system, if you want to give staff members access, but you want to limit what they have permission to do, this is where we would come and build that. Not going to spend a lot of time on that, but it's just a nice little tool if you want to use it. Reports. After you have data, you will come here and you might set a date range, whether you're paying your taxes or your, whatever that might be. You could set a monthly or a quarterly date range. Click the tab, whether you want the sales tax due or the income report or the expense report, and then it would print out here or show you here, then you could print out that. We do have check writing ability in our system. But again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because there's not a lot of data to show you. We can
Can you export on this to QuickBooks or anything like that?
Not as of yet. Not as of yet. All right. Now, my profile, this is what you just created as the owner of this company and the owner of the account. This is where you will come to basically to change your personal information. Everyone that you put in the system, bidder or consigner, will show up with a profile like this. When you scroll down, you're going to be able to make them sales tax exempt, and I saw that on your website so that you could put in the number that they're going to have and for your state. So every person you can customize. You want to give them a bid number, you're going to give them a consigner number. The system will keep track of that from that point forward. Maybe they wrote you a bad check last time. You can put an alert on here. So when your staff member gives them a number, it'll remind them not to take their check, so on and so forth. Okay? Now, that's your profile. Please upload your picture so I can see who you look like, what you look like. Under my company, Whitley, we're going to basically, this first tab is what your company information would look like to someone coming to AuctionSoft and looking at it and see. Let's see. Is it Whitley?
WhitleyMayAuctioneers.com.
Lee, Whitley May?
Yes.
Okay. .com. All right, let's update that. Now, because we're in company information, anything you put in the description, please update here. Whoops, update. Anything you put here, it will automatically add it to every auction that you create going forward, but you can still change that information. It's just making it easier for you to type it if you always use the same terms and conditions. Cash, check, and charge, I assume?
Yeah. What is cash and check?
Cash and check only? Okay. All right.
I don't have any way to take cards right now.
You will with us. It's very simple, and I'll go over that here in a minute. The footer is something that shows up at the bottom of their bid card or their invoice/receipt. And maybe it's something like, hey, make sure you're getting your consignments in for our upcoming sale in October. And then you can change that once in a while. Hey, we've got a sale coming up in March, whatever that might be. All right. So these are customizable boxes, information going out on the front end as people want to see that. All right. Now, under rates and settings, forgive me, it's my habit to say Mr. May. I apologize if that's offensive, but all right. Mr. May, it is, we have several tabs here, and you'll kind of notice that it's kind of set up like a little Rolodex, and once you get into one tab, there's multiple tabs showing you. When you and I get done going through these 6 tabs, my system is ready for you to run an auction. You could run an auction an hour from now. It is that simple to use. Now, there's a lot more to get ready, but let's start with the basics. Do you charge sales tax normally?
Yes.
What is the percentage?
8.25.
8.25. And you're in Texas?
Yeah.
And, okay. Buyer's premium?
I usually do not have a buyer's premium.
I'll turn that off. Under payments. So you're taking cash and check now. If you wanted to use us for credit cards, we would simply send you to Stripe, which is a lot like Square or some of those other ones. Let's see, Stripe. Basically, you would come here and you would sign up for an account. When you get that account signed up, it will give you 2 very large tokens. They're like 60 characters apiece. And basically, those tokens are a handshake between Stripe's processing and us. And then your processing can be done at checkout, very simple. In fact, people can check out from their phones if you have it set up.
Is there a way, like if you did take a credit card, like whatever the credit card fee is, you charge it back to the...
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are going to be amazed at this system because you've already asked me some questions that the core functionality of AuctionSoft is very simple, but there are so many tools you are going to love. But the answer is yes. So if you're using a credit card, and let's say that we are, you are going to charge a surcharge for that. What would that be?
Probably usually 3%, isn't that?
That's standard.
Yeah.
So let's put 3 in here. If you wanted to use another, like let's say, because I have some auctioneers that want to charge credit cards, but they don't want to use Stripe for some reason. Maybe they were already set up with Square or their bank. We have a way of taking others as well. Again, we just put in the code for that.
Okay.
All right, we're using U.S. currency, so no problem there. Consigners. When you're ready to create consignor rates, you go into consigners, and let's add a commission rate. If someone's going to bring you regular miscellaneous stuff that you're going to sell, what's your standard rate?
It's what I've been charging. It's 10% on the first $500 of an item, and then 6% thereafter.
All right. Let me do this for now. Let me put 10% in here as standard. And I'm going to, what about like, do you do that across the board, whether it's small ticket items or farm machinery?
But I've been thinking about doing a sliding scale, so it'll be, people don't understand. Basically, the way that works is you just take 6% of it and add $20, no matter if anything over 6%. But it's very confusing for people whenever they see that.
So, all right.
Try to do the math on it. But.
Well, our system will do the math for you on a sliding scale, no problem. So when we talk about a consignor flat rate, so basically, let's say an estate sale where you're selling all of their furniture and whatever.
Yeah.
you know, you give someone a standard rate, it's 10% across the board. But let's say they want to set, you have one item that you give them a discount on, and it's, you know, maybe they're selling you a car or giving you a car to sell, and it's going to be $40,000, and you want to give them a little discount. We can tag that individual item. So the system will just track 10% across the board other than that one. But in your case, you're telling me about a sliding scale. So let's go build that. Do you know what your levels will be?
I don't know yet. I hadn't.
You gave me an example just a minute ago of anything under.
Yeah, it was anything under $500 was 10%.
Okay, so anything under $500 is 10%. And what is it over? 6?
6.
Okay. Let's see. So let's add another right here and put standard 6. And then anything under $500 will be 10. All right, let's do it that way. Okay. Okay. Now, we have the option to charge the consigner a per ticket fee. Every time you drop the hammer, you know, it charges $1 or $2 or something like that. Some of the auctioneers like to do that, so they get the first $2. And it's another way of charging a bigger percentage on those low ticket items. $10 if they're getting the first $2 and they're at 20% all of a sudden. Just to make sure they're not selling a bunch of stuff at $2 and taking 10%, so they'd be getting 20 cents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Do you charge any kind of a no sale fee?
Yes, it's 10% up. It's 10% of basically 100. It's 10% of the final bid, but no more than $100 is what I've been doing.
10% of the final bid. Well, I might have to rethink that one because you've got a percentage for your no sale. Usually it's a flat fee.
Yeah.
But let me think about that. We'll come back to that part. All right. Let's see. This is the tag option, meaning, like I said earlier, let's say we were going to sell a piece of farm machinery and you're going to give them a slightly better deal on a $40,000 combine than you would on their tables and chairs out of their kitchen. All right. So we can create tags here that will allow us to do that. But all right, so let's go from there and let's see sliding scale. I think that's good. Under items, I'm not going to worry about that. Notifications, no. All right. So when you're clerking or when you're calling the sale, your clerk is next to you. Is that friend, family, employee?
Yes, friends usually do it.
We have the ability to show you what the sale is doing at the top of the clerking window. Some auctioneers don't like that being visible to their clerk, or maybe somebody looking over their shoulder. Would you like to see it or not?
No.
Okay, so we'll leave that off. Okay, I'm not. Okay, now what kind of marketing do you do for your sales?
I have Facebook, internet, and I send out mailers.
Do you do any Auction Zip, or I know I saw you on Auction Zip.
Yeah, I have do sometimes do stuff on Auction Zip.
Go to Auction is another really good one. If you haven't used it, it's becoming very popular. So let me do something else. Flyers, and what about I don't know if you do radio or anything like that. But all right, so this is a way of tracking your dollars spent on marketing. All right, so all right, we're going to leave it for that for now. So at this point, Mr. May, the system is ready to run your auction. I mean, you could run it. You could run a real auction right now if you wanted to. So let's go pretend we're going to do that. All right. Oh, I got to create an auction for you. Just a second. Let's see here. Different screen and poof. Now, you said you have a sale coming up in October. What would you title that in your marketing?
It'd be the
Sweetwater?
Sweetwater equipment, or farm and equipment sale is usually what.
Okay, just a second. Sweetwater farm equipment. All right. Now, we're going to do that on October the what?
25th.
All right, Saturday. And I'm going to put in here, please for you later. Cash check. Oops. All right, and online taxable. You said it's 8.25 for sales tax?
Yes.
All right. Okay, poof. And what is the address where that sale is going to happen?
It's going to be exit 240 off of I-20.
Do you have a physical address?
The exact address off the top of my head, I can't tell you.
Okay.
I don't think it's on my website right now either, because I've looked at it the other day trying to get somebody to.
Is there a name to that location?
It'd be no. Well, if you get on Google, it says Whitley Auctioneers. It's tagged on Google Maps.
Okay. All right. Just a second. I'm going to look that up. Whitley Auctioneers in Sweetwater. And
it's going to be. Let's see which one it pulls. It may pull up. That one's not the right one.
Okay.
It's going to be farther to the left on the screen, down 20.
Glendale Road?
Not that one. Maybe the top. I don't.
That's the one I clicked on, I think. Whitley Mail.
Yeah, that's not the right one.
Okay. Let's try the Glendale Road.
No, it's pulling up the same one.
Huh.
If you scroll to the left, drag it to the left.
The what?
Drag it a little bit. Drag a little bit more.
Okay.
Right by that, where you see where it said Southern Trail, Wasp Museum, scroll in, zoom in a little bit there. That's it. Go back to the right.
Okay.
So where it says Southern Trailers, it's going to be by it. And it's been marked. I don't know why it's not marked now on this one. There's Sweetwater Still. It's just right to the right of Sweetwater Still. It's not marking it.
Okay. Well,
that next square is, you see it? That blue square on the screen, go over to the right. It's right.
This one?
Right there. Yeah, that's where it's at.
All right. Well, let's use this. 10326 North 20.
There you go.
20. And what's the zip code?
79556.
All right. There we go. All right. So I'm going to submit that. We're going to get rid of that. And now, on the front end, here we are. So now that sale that we just created is now on the front end. We need to put some details and stuff with it, which we'll do here in a second. All right. So now if I refresh this page, the sale that I just built for you is here. And what I did basically is I'm logged into myself on another screen like you, but I just went here to add new auction and I filled out all the details for your upcoming sale. Every time you create a sale to run with our software, it's going to cost you $20. When you first sign up, the very first auction that you pay for is a $4.99 fee. All right, it's a one-time fee for new users of $4.99. That includes your first sale. Every auction after that is $20. That's how we make our money. Now there's some other things that you can do that we charge for, but the $20 per auction is our base rate. Okay, again, no monthly fees, just $20 per sale. You have 5 sales a year. This system's going to cost you $100 a year. Nothing. All right, so now that we've created an auction for you, we are going to click this button on the right to manage it. Now, this is what I call the cashier's window or the cashier's page. Everything that you do is all going to be here on this page as a cashier. There is another clerking screen, but I'm going to show you this part first. So, the big box right here is your customers. Right now, your customer list includes just you. Once we register people to this particular sale, they'll show up in the middle. And then your consigners need to be over here. And we do have several methods for getting customers in. Like I said, if you've got a database, we can do a massive upload for you to put all those in there. But let's get a few people in so we can have an example. All right. So you're running our software. Doesn't matter what sale, whether it's that massive one. I would encourage you to run it on that massive one because I think I don't think it matters how big the sale is and whether it's 600 people or not. You just need multiple. Oh, let me talk about that. If you had 10 cashiers and you're running 5 rings all at the same time, we still only charge $20.
Okay.
So you go out
and
and
all just on doing that, like they can be each putting like say there's 2 people putting stuff in there at the same time. Will it still work?
say there's 10 people or 110 people, no problems.
Okay.
All right. So now it might be better for you to give them their own login because now you can track if someone makes a mistake, you'll know who it was.
Yeah.
But yes, there's no problems with that. This system also runs. You're running Access, so you've got a software that's on your computer.
Yeah.
We are in the cloud, so if lightning strikes your building or facility and you blows out all your computers, you've lost everything. With us, this runs on any piece of hardware that connects to the internet. It can run on your phone. You can clerk on your phone. If lightning hits your building, you just go get another laptop, pull it up, log in, you're ready to go. And you lose absolutely nothing from that catastrophe. You could have this on as many stations as you want, all at the same time, all logged in. There's no limits. Okay, it's very, very user friendly. Okay, so we've got one person in your customer base. Let's add another one. Now, normally if I came to your auction and I was the first time there, you would come up and let's say you had 1,000 people in your customer base. You would come up and you would type in my last name. And when you did that, it would eliminate 999 people and it would show you my name. And then you would click a button to give me the next bid number. Okay. The other way we're going to get people in the system is they've never been to your sale. You're going to click add new bid number and you're going to ask me for my phone number. And we're going to put it in. Now, we want you to get cell phone numbers. You're going to ask your people for cell phone numbers because that is how we make every account in AuctionSoft unique, so there's no duplicates. Let's say someone Amish comes to your sale and they don't have a phone. You can still put them in the system without a phone number, but we discourage that. So that is a very small little thing here that you can see. We prefer you put the phone number in. Now,
mine's not updating. Staying with you.
All right.
You're doing. It's just...
All right, just a second. Would you refresh it on your end? And let's see if that works. There. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry. Yeah, please let me know if that happens because I bounce around a little bit. Okay, so let me move this back over. I'll try to keep track of that so I can see yours better. All right, so just to go back to where I was. There are 3 tabs here, but each one of these tabs has an add new bidder button. Those are all the same button. It gets you to this screen here where you're going to ask the person that's brand new to your facility or to your auction what their cell phone number is. Now, when I click this button, AuctionSoft is going to go out into the cloud and look for anybody with that phone number that's ever been to an auction house that's running, or an auction that's running AuctionSoft. So, okay, I've never been to your sale, Mr. May, but I've been to another sale in Indiana, and once you put in my phone number, it finds me, and I can very quickly be added to your sale. So now I'm registered as bidder number 1. How did you hear about us today, Mr. Baxter? Oh, I saw you on Facebook. So now I'm starting to track the dollars you spend on marketing. Your people are going to be able to ask them, how did you hear about us? And then that helps you spend your money better, okay? Now we have 2 people in your database. We have 1 registered bidders. We still have no consignor. I'm going to use another one. I'm going to say my wife here, 937-7319, and I'm going to put her in. But this time I'm going to add her as a consignor over here. All right, so now she was added as consignor 1. And how did you hear about us? Oh, I got a mailer. Now, let's do another one. Person comes up, and do you mind if I have your wife's phone number?
325-338-8089.
All right, and
That's my dad's.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, now this time when I click it, the system says no one's ever signed up under that number. So let's create them. We have the ability to do, I can sell you a very cheap $50 scanner, which gives you the ability to just scan the driver's license and it'll autofill all this information. But since I don't have you in front of me with your ID, what's your dad's name?
Walt. WALT, May.
All right, and I'll skip the email address, and usually once his driver's license, please update that when you get a chance. Do you know his address?
213 Glendale Road. You like lives where that other one was at.
213.
213 Glendale, GLEN. DALE.
Oh, Glendale Road. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Well, there's one in.
Okay. Zip code?
79556.
As soon as I put the zip code in, the system goes out and finds the correct city and state for that zip code. It just saves time. Okay. Now, I'm going to give your dad a bid number. It's going to take me right back here, and it makes him bid number 2. How did you hear about us today? I saw you on Facebook. Now, this is the next step. If you have a printer hooked up, you can print their bid card. Now, this is supposed to be on plain paper to keep it very cheap for you. You print it out, you fold it in half, and it becomes a very cheap bid card. This is also where the terms and conditions, and if you put in a footer that says, hey, please come to our next sale, this is one of the places that goes. Okay. You can still use 3x5 cards or paddles or however you want, but our system gives you the ability to print that real quickly. Also, are you using permanent bid numbers at all?
I have a few.
Okay. So let's say you're...
He has one. He's number 82.
Who is it?
My dad has a bid number. It's 82.
All right, let's fix this. So let's fix Walt's number, not to 82. So I'm going to show you how to do that, all right? We first go to registered bidders. He's here under 2. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to unassign him. I'm going to go over to customers. I'm going to find him again. I'm going to view his profile. I'm going to tell my system he wants to be 82. As soon as I tab out of any field, the system assumes you want to save the details you put in that or the information you put in there, and it saved that after it checked for the availability. So now when I return to the event and I go to customers, now my system knows every time Walt comes, he gets 82. I click that button again, and now it's giving him 82. Okay? Now we haven't given you a number, and so you're already in the system. You're easy to find. I simply click this button to give you a number. It'll give you 2 because we unassigned your dad from 2.
Yeah.
How'd you hear about us? I saw you on AuctionSoft. I print your bid card number. And now, let's say you wanted to get in the habit of making people permanent numbers. Every time they come and they got a number, all right, Mr. May, would you like to be number 2 every time? Yes, I would. Simply click this dark blue button on the right, and every time you come, you'll be number 2. And it'll save it for you. Okay? Easy peasy. Now, so we have 3 registered bidders and 1 consignor. Now, we are using only numbers for bidders and consignors, but the system tracks all of that for you. You won't have to keep track of how many times you've used that number because it won't let you repeat it. All right. Now, all right. So this blue button that's up here, if I had set an alert like, hey, this person's a VIP or they wrote us a bad check last time, it would also show up here in this bar for there. But I just close that out, clean up my workspace. All right. So now that we've talked about that, we have 4 customers, 3 bidders, 1 consignor. But I noticed our consignor does not have an official rate. So I'm going to go under their profile, and I'm going to come down here to this box, and I'm going to set them at the standard 10%. Okay. Return to the event, and just to make sure, now they're there. Okay. Now, next to their name, there's an actions button. If you're doing actions for a consignor, it's different than if you're doing actions for a bidder. So you'll notice these buttons are different. That's one of the things people kind of get. They'll call me once in a while and say, I can't remember where the button is for this. And so just make sure you're on the right type of person when you're looking at that. Now, let's say this person here, which is my demo account, is going to be a seller, and you decided you were going to charge them a pickup fee or something, and you're going to charge them $100 for that. It's a pickup fee, and you can add as many expenses as you would like. If you have not paid them from the last sale, it will tell you, so on and so forth. Okay. So now on the right over here, you don't really do much over here. You're really just following along with that activity of the sale financially, but this is where you're going to come to get to the clerking grid. Okay. You're going to clerk in ring 1 most of the time. Do you run multiple rings at your facility?
We do at that big sale. We run 2 of them at the same time.
All right, so let me show you how easy that is. So we've got one. I want to create a second ring. Let's say we're just selling the farm machinery separately. So I'm going to add a new ring, and basically you can add as many rings as you want. The system doesn't care, and there's no extra fees. But when you're ready to run it, it will keep track of how much income came in per ring and then give you a total. All right. Now at the bottom, as we clerk items, they will all show up down here. Doesn't matter what ring they're in. It all just gets brought in here consecutively in real time as they clerk it out at the ring. It'll show up here for the cashier to make any edits as needed. All right. So let's go have a sale. So we're going to open the clerking grid. If you have internet where you're at and you're hardwired or you've got good Wi-Fi, no problem. But if you're running on a phone's hotspot out in the middle of a field, we recommend that you turn off, you turn it on Do Not Disturb for your phone. And then that way you don't lose track of, because cellular companies will sometimes pause your internet usage while your phone is ringing. And so it'll just spin a little bit. And you want to make sure that doesn't happen. So if you're using a phone or a hotspot, just make sure it's on Do Not Disturb. So this is your clerking grid. So let's say we've only got one consignor. So our consignor is 1. And I'm using the keyboard now. And I'm going to tab into the next one and do so give me an item that you would start your sale with.
Hand tools.
Okay. Hand tools. And you will see you've got lots of room here to give a nice long description of the items. And let's say, now I'm using my left pinky on the keyboard to go from 1 to 2 to 3 and waiting for the auctioneer to drop the hammer, and they sell those hand tools for $25. Now if I tab, it autofills the .00, or you can type it in 12 and a half, 1750, whatever that is, and we're going to put that on bidder 3. Now it turns red because there is no bidder 3. It knows that no one has gotten registered as bidder 3. So, but they took one and I clerked it. The system knows who the consignor is under 1, but it doesn't know who number 3 is. However, let's say 3 is in the process of registering, and we'll make that. I don't want to make that. Let me do one more. Let me put another person here, a friend of mine. And poof, I'm going to add them, and they're going to be added as the bidder. It will automatically come in as 3. Now, one of the things AuctionSoft does is as you fix things around the system, it will automatically update everywhere else that needs to get updated. So even though I clerked this item before I put the person in, there's no problems. It now knows number 3 is JR. Okay, let's do another one. Now, it automatically, every time you clerk an item, it'll automatically come over here with the consignor highlighted, but you could easily change that if you need to. But it comes over and assumes you're on the same consignor number for now. What's the next item?
Trailer.
Okay. Trailer, and give as many descriptions you want. And this one brought $1,500, and it was bidder number 1. And poof. Now, my dad sells 120 plus items an hour. 2 items a minute. This thing will have no problem keeping up with you. And let's sell it. It's going to be choice box lot. And this time it brought $12.50, and the bidder number 3 took 6. This time we're going to go to the next one because there's 4 items left. When I hit clerk and repeat, it records that one, but it autofills the rest of this so you can do pass outs. Number 1 is going to take the remaining 4 items. Very quick and easy to do clerking. Now, right here at the top, if I am clerking out at your field and I need my laptop's going dead, I can send a message back to the cashier's window. Hey, bring me a fresh laptop because this battery's going to dead. Or I need a bathroom break. Or bring me a cold water. Whatever it is. It's a one-way street. You can't send messages to your clerk because we don't want to bother the clerk. But your clerk can send message to your cashier. Okay? The system is going to keep track of how many items per hour you are selling. So it keeps your auctioneer running smoothly. If you turned on the amount that the ring was doing, it would show up here on the left. Okay? Questions about the...
What I'm planning to do for right now, I'm not going to have a computer out with us. What I was thinking about doing is doing we've been using paper, like everything. We go back, we clerk with paper, and it goes back to the trailer, and they've been putting it in this system.
I think that you will find you are going to save yourself the cost of an employee that day because there's no reason you need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you that I've had auctioneers that were total paper. They did that because they were concerned. They just didn't trust the computer
Well,
yet.
part of the problem is going to be like is getting like at that big sale is having enough service for everybody to do that.
Well, obviously that's something I can't fix, but
yeah, no, we can't fix that, and that's what I'm saying. It's going to be paper, and then there's going to be an employee having to enter this in afterwards.
that is completely up to you, Mr. May. But I will tell you, I have this same conversation with people all the time, and once they go over, they completely abandon paper. So, now you said service. My record is running 4 simultaneous rings on 2 bars on a cell phone. The system is very light from a coding standpoint. It transmits data very, very efficiently. You will be very surprised. It will keep up with you even with a weak signal. Now, if that signal goes to 0, I can't fix that. Obviously, you're right. You're going to need paper. So what I would suggest is you do clerk it on AuctionSoft, and you have paper tickets as backup, just in case the signal gets weak. But I think you'll find that
my plan is, I was thinking I'm probably going to end up getting Starlink or something like that. It's because the cell phone service, and it's going to be, specifically because of that sale, having, doing the Starlink or something like that, so that there's enough cell phone service at the trailer, or internet service at the trailer, even. Because if you move, you may have full bars at that cell, and then you move 15 feet, you may go to nothing.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'll tell you, I have recommended Starlink. I have Starlink myself. I have gone to places to do these demos live for big companies, and I take my Starlink, and they're amazed. It just works great. So yes, you're right. It's worth the investment, especially now that you can have Starlink for $5 a month on standby, and then just flip it on when you need it.
That's what my thought is to start this standby Starlink stuff.
Correct. Okay, so any other questions about the clerking grid?
No, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Pretty simple, right? Especially you're an auctioneer, you've done this before.
And I like the way it makes you don't have to change. A lot of them that I've looked at, whenever you put the consignor in there, you were having to put like 1.1 for each, trying to keep up with how many items they've sold, and you don't have to do that.
No, none of that. In fact, that's what's happening over here, but it's completely done by the computer. That's not for you. So you don't have to worry about that. All right, so we've got a few items clerked here. Let's go back to our cashier's window and refresh the page. So now that we've got items, by the way, I can see that your dad has looked on his phone one time. He's actually, did you get the link I sent you when you registered for a bid number?
Yes.
So there's a link on there that will allow you to follow along on all your purchases, and you do not have any purchases yet. In fact, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to sell you something. So this is a sample item.
I'm surprised. My dad's in Barcelona. I'm surprised his is working.
Oh, I mean, it's the cloud, baby. All right.
I'm surprised he has cell phone service over there.
Yeah. So let's see. You're number 2. So I'm gonna sell an item here, a sample item for $150 to number 2, and clerk that item. Okay. So yeah. Now I can see that your dad has opened the link, and when you get the link, it basically shows you a mini version of what your invoice is going to look like. And there's so many perks to this. First of all, customers love it. It's very nice if you do something, your clerk something wrong. A lot of times your customers will bring it to your attention long before the end of the sale, before everybody's gone home, and now you're looking for one ticket that didn't get in the right box or whatever it is, entered correctly. That happens a lot. Plus, people will walk up to your cashier's window. They'll already know what their check needs to be made out for because they've seen the tax, and you're not doing buyer's premium, but if you're signed up with Stripe, They can even check out right from their phones and not go to the cashier's window at all. Okay. All right. So now that we have some purchases here, you can see the person with your dad with no purchases, there's nothing to do. But let's go check out this person here, JR. On the left, this is what his invoice will look like. This is exactly what shows up on the phone, just like this. So we're going to check him out for cash. And we're going to say he gave us two $100 bills. We need to make change at $91.75. Finalize the payment. Once the invoice is centered like this, it's paid in full. And before you print it, we actually suggest telling people we're going to email them the invoice. That saves you paper. It's already on their phone. A lot of customers will just accept that and walk out. Okay, fine. Some will still want it printed, and you can print it. Excuse me. But now it shows everything they purchased, all their totals, even how they paid right there on their invoice before they leave. Once they've checked...
If they PO'd an item, how would you put that in there?
Explain to me PO?
Like pulled out, like they bought something, they got bought back.
You mean a seller bought his own material?
Yeah.
Well, we discourage that.
Well, I do too, but it had, you know what I mean? Like at the big farm sales, it happens more than what I would prefer it to. But...
So the answer currently is, we would assume, even though he brought his own back, you're going to charge him that same...
Well, I'm going to charge him the fee.
Then there's no difference. The system will know people that purchase their own stuff, and let me show you that. So we have our consignor is AI. So let me go and do that. Let me go back here and give AI a bid number. That's my wife. Number 4. And let's go clerk an item. Sample buyback. And it brought $250, and it was number 4. Now, the pink line tells your clerk that the seller of the item also bought it back. So our opinion is that you would still charge that person the consignor fee, and they would need to come pay the bill. They bought it, they need to pay for it. That way you still get paid. Now, whether you decide to take that off their bill is another story. And now let's say we're going to do that. Let's say you're nice and you decided you are going to, the one item that they bought down here, they're going to get charged for that. And we can prove that. Well, don't let me get ahead of myself, Mr. May. Just one second. Okay. So under registered bidders, we have checked one person out, one person without any purchases. Let's go take a check from this person. And it records the check number so you can keep it straight. All right, poof. Now that system knows. And let's say this person, they owe $1,677. They only brought $1,500 in cash. So they still owe $177. Because they have not paid in full, this side of the screen still stays there. And now I'm going to go take their check for the rest. Check number is... Now I can go back, and it knows that they paid in 2 different ways. This person is going to pay with a credit card, but here, because they are a consignor, they have a consignor credit available to them. So the system will actually cross-reference bidders, buyers, and sellers, and then you can decide to give them, credit towards their purchases. Now, in your case, I think what you asked me is I want to basically take it off.
Yeah, well, if I take it off, or if they do it just so, because I've had the problem before where somebody does that.
Okay.
And then they leave. Just to make it more easy to see.
So
I think it's fixing it. I think I already answered my question, just so that I know who can say, whenever you have 1,000 items and they're all different consigners, and they're saying, "Oh, well, that was mine. I didn't," or they leave without doing it, or anything happens. How do you? I was just thinking if the software would show you that the consignor and the seller are the same person.
Yes, well, especially when you go to pay them, they have an amount due. Now you could make it. You could set the system where if they bought it back, there was an extra charge. Like, hey, you can buy your stuff back, but instead of you paying 10%, we're going to charge you 20 because we want to discourage you from buying it back. Or you can set it to 50 or whatever that is. I mean, I don't know if you can legally stop them, but you can make it painful.
The state doesn't like them doing it either, but I don't know how you can.
You make it painful.
In reality, I don't know how you stop them from doing it unless you charge them the full commission, and then you have everybody.
Well, that would do it. It would be
charge you more than commission. Excuse me.
Right. It would be up to you to enforce it, and that's where the problem comes in. I'm sure everybody wants to be a nice guy and keep customers, but the system will track it for you. So, but let's say, for example, that you really wanted to give that person the benefit of the doubt, and you weren't going to charge them. So once we go in here and we find the one thing they bought, you simply would go into edit and you would say, all right, I'm editing down this to 0 because you don't want to pay them for their buyback. And I'm going to edit it to number 4 to 0. There is no way to delete items in AuctionSoft. And the reason why is because we don't want you to accidentally delete something. We also don't want somebody to come in here. Let's say you have a cashier that's less than honest, and they want to come in here and edit this $1,500 down to $150 and pocket the basics. They just change it by a 0 and they pocket $1,350. Our system will not allow anything to be deleted, only edited. And then once it's edited, we have a record of that. So we know everything that happened. So you as the owner of the company can go back and figure out what happened and who did it. Okay. Keeps people honest. All right. So back to the square one here. We've got 5 customers, 5 registered bidders, 1 consigner. The 1 consigner, this is what the payout for the consigner is going to look like. Now that our sale's over, it's a nice list of everything they sold. We're going to recoup a little bit of expense from the pickup fee. We have a 10% base commission. And here's what you're going to check. And so you pull out your escrow account checkbook and you write that check for them and so on and so forth. Now, one of the things that the system did not do that I want to make sure that I set up, because I created this demo account for you after we set your settings. So I'm going fast here. Let me slow down. This is your sale page for the cashier, and this yellow button is how you go make any changes. Let's say you forgot to turn on tax. Well, you just come down here and do it. Or you want to add a buyer's premium for this sale only. Okay, fine. But what I need to do is I am going to allow self-checkout, and I'm going to put credit and debit here. And we're going to charge the same 3%. And we're going to go back to the sale. And now under registered bidders, we don't have anybody who has yet to pay, but I want to show you that. So I'm going to create another item here. And this is a sample for card payment. Sometimes my mind is faster than my fingers. $450, and the bidder was number, let's see, your dad I think is number 82.
Yes.
And we clerk that, Walt. All right. Now we go back here, refresh this. Walt needs to pay his bill. He comes in. Your staff comes down here to credit. It automatically adds, just because we chose this type of payment, the system knows now to add this fee. This is the amount that'll get ran. Once you run it, you will put the approval code here in the notes. Continue on, save it, poof. Now the system knows what the fees were, what the original amount was, what time they made that payment. It's very organized to keep everything simple for you to follow along. So many little things behind the scenes. Okay. All right, now we've talked about some of this. Now, these search boxes are everywhere. So let's say you only want to know what Walt bought. Oh, I got to do a hard refresh first. So you only want to know what Walt bought, or you only want to know what brought $450, or you only want to know you're looking for the trailer. These search boxes are powerful. If you've got thousands of items and you need to make a change real quick, you don't have to go through all the tickets. You don't have to go through this or that to find it. You simply use the search boxes, and almost any piece of information you can put in will help you find that. Okay, let's get back that out of there so we can have our whole sale in front of us. All right. Now, let's see. One of the other things I was going to show you is, oh, the sliding scale. Oh, I see. I forgot to set up the sliding scale on this particular thing here. Do I have it? Premium. Oh, that should be live. Oh, that's right. All right. So I created this sale after I put in your settings. So when it comes to the sliding scale, let's see, where do I need to go here? Let's bear with me. Company settings, consigners, $500, 10%, save. Okay, I'm sorry. May not have saved it last time. All right, back to the sale and consigner. Okay. So, well, the 10% is the same, so we put it on there. But we did a 5% for vehicle, or let's see. Let's go down here to the trailer. And we didn't set a tag, did we? We didn't create a tag. Let's say all of this stuff is under the consignor at 10%, but we agreed to give the trailer at 5%. You know, you're just giving them a deal, okay? So we're going to go into the company settings under this, and we're going to tag an item. And we're going to say that any farm machinery is going to be only a 5% fee. Okay. So now when I go back here to the auction, I'm going to go down here to the edit this, and I'm going to tag it as farm machinery. Now when I go up here, the system redlines that one item and says this one's at a special rate. So again, it's just very nice printout for your seller to have everything in one place, very well organized. And once you get everything kind of polished the way you want it, you really don't even have to think about it. You just have the sale. Everything's done by my software behind the scenes. Okay. So let's pay this person. We're going to write them a check, and the check number you're using is this. Poof, poof. Close it. Now, if you had one consignor, it's very easy to click this button. But let's say you had 20 consignors. You're going to go up here to this green button and do a mass. The left here is a summary page. It doesn't give you all clerked items. It just gives you something for you to print out and put in your folder for this sale. But over here on the right, if you had 20 consignors and you hit print long form, it would just print out every single thing, every single consignor's statement for you to then fold up and give to them with their check or whatever. Okay? So that's what that button does. This expense button is slightly different than the other one. So let's say you're having 20 consignors, a big auction, and you're going to pay your ring help or your advertising, and you're not going to attribute it to a certain consignor. You basically can click this button and add it to your, so let's say this is going out to Auction Zip for marketing, and you pay $200 for their marketing, and it's marketing. You can add as many of these expenses as you want, but now what will happen is it'll show up on your final report. And I'll talk about that last. I want to talk about these others. So now that you've got 5 customers in here, one of the other things that we do to make money is we offer you a way to do a text blast to all these people. Everyone in your customer base that has been to your sale at least once. You can't use all my customers in the cloud, but everyone that's been to your sale at once, you can send out a promo blast. You can change what it says. And each person that gets it is 6 cents. You can add emails for 4 cents. Let's say we're going to send it to everyone in your database. That's a total currently of 5 people. Let's say we're going to only send it to the people in Texas. Let's say we're going to only send it to the people that are close to your zip code. Okay, so you can kind of decide how much money you want to spend, on this marketing. And this is completely optional. You don't have to use it at all. But I will tell you, if you start using it, it will become the most valuable marketing you have. And I would suggest you call any auctioneer listing their sale on my software and ask them that question, because it is very, very.
Yeah, no, that would be valuable. Well, mailers have gotten too expensive, is what the
Well, and time
post
consuming.
office has gotten too expensive. And
Yes, absolutely. And time consuming, because this, you can just whip this out in seconds and send it out. And what it does is it sends them, in fact, I'm going to do it. So now me, you, your dad, my wife, and JR just got a text. Well, they'll get a text message here shortly.
I got one already.
You did get it already? Okay. So
just a promotion has been added to the queue, and you will be processed shortly.
Yes, every 10 minutes, anyone who puts their auction in queue to do their marketing blast, every 10 minutes it'll send out. So in about 6 minutes, that'll fire off to all of your customers in your customer base. Now, so figure $60 on every 1,000 people that get it. It's the best marketing you can do. It can be done at your disposal. And I've had people before they'll run an ad, and then, in fact, this happened. The morning of the sale, like 7 o'clock in the morning, there was a tornado that came through. So he sent out another message to all his customers that, hey, postponement because of the tornado blew our tent down. So it gives you some powerful tools to contact your people, but the link that they get leads them right back to the listing that is here. Now, do you have any pictures for that listing as of yet?
Not yet. I hadn't started taking pictures or anything for it.
Okay. So let's say you did. When it's time, well, first of all, when you first create the listing, it's automatically going to send you a link and say, hey, please upload your pictures. It assumes you have them on your phone or whatever it is. But if you're coming back to it, you open the settings, you click images, and then you can drag and drop whatever you want here. Pictures, demo pics. Poof. Now we go back to this on the front. The very first picture that goes up is the picture that shows up as your main image. And then we're going to fix this here in a second. But you see how quick and easy that was?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now I'm going to, let's see, I want to fix that real quick. So let's go here. You need to get that?
No, that's fine.
All right, let's see. Let's make May logo. So I'm going to save a picture for you real quick here, and we're going to go back to your account, and we are going to settings, and I'm going to upload this new teaser I just created for you. Downloads, May logo, poof, save image, poof. There you go. Now what people see when they come to your front of AuctionSoft, till you get some more pictures put up, this is what they'll see. I'm going to go in here and delete these other pictures. Delete, 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 delete. I can do a mass delete if I want to, but I don't have too many. Okay. All right. Now you see how easy it is to bounce around and do things. What questions you got so far?
I think you're covering everything so far.
Pretty simple, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It seems like it'll be fast. Even doing it with the clerking on paper, it seems like it'll be fast. That's been the problem in the past, is them trying to keep up, putting like with using the Access program, trying to keep up with stuff coming in has been hard.
Again, I would recommend you try to do, anybody with a good signal, you try to clerk it on straight onto the computer. But yeah, I do have auctioneers that they'll have a ring going on inside. They'll run outside to sell the.
It's mostly going to be whatever we're on the.
Whatever what?
Two auctioneers, that's going to be a problem. I think when I get to at the big sales when we're down to one auctioneer selling bigger items.
Yeah.
Somebody could sit there with their cell phone even and do it, and it not be.
Well, that's correct. Because like for example, see this little button right here. If you want to send somebody out and sell the farm machinery, click this button, and it'll send them. Maybe it's your wife or your staff member. Are you married?
No.
Okay, sorry. I assumed. I shouldn't assume.
Alright.
So you could put in here an employee's number and click this link, and it will send them the clerking grid to their phone. And they just walk out there and clerk the items that are going through the farm machinery ring, and they walk back in, and it's done. And this is what I mean. There's a lot of little tools that you'll just kind of learn how powerful this system is for only $20 per auction.
Okay.
Next question. Anything?
No. I think I'm understanding all of it. Now, but before I have this first sale, would you mind whenever I talk to one of my ladies about it, the one that's been helping me do most of it?
Yep.
Would you mind going over all this with her?
I will happily give them a demo. And the sale is October 25th.
October 25th. Yeah.
Is this the big one?
No.
Okay.
It's not. This one's going to be pretty small. This one probably won't last 3 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I would be happy to. And not only that, during the sale, I can sit here in my office and I'll monitor the sale. And if they have questions, I can help them answer the questions, fix stuff, or show them how to do things. I'll be available for you the day of the sale.